Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Ask Us Anything. Today we have an awesome guest, Maika Monroe. Before we get to that, let's pay some bills. Today's episode has been brought to you by Loot Crate.
Yeah, for less than $20 a month, Loot Crate gives the geek in you a special treat every month.
Yeah, you get a box of 6 to 8 items of gamer and pop culture licensed gear, apparel, collectibles, unique, one-of-a-kind items, and more.
Swords and sorcery, myths and magic, dragons, and things that aren't dragons.
Ooh.
This month, Loot Crate is all about fantasy.
Loot Crate is giving you some epic collectible and wearable items from some of your favorite fantasy franchises, including Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, The Princess Bride, and more.
You have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific to subscribe and receive that month's crate, and when the cutoff happens, that's it. It's over.
So go to lootcrate.com/ETC and enter code ETC to save $3 on your new subscription today.
Now let's get on the show.
We have an awesome guest this week, and the guest from The Guest, one of my favorite movies last year, and It Follows, one of my favorite movies this year so far.
Thank you. Wow.
Something might beat it out.
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know. We still
Maika
got
Monroe,
time.
thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, It Follows, it just came out nationally, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
last weekend.
Yeah.
But we had it here in LA
We're
like
spoiled.
3
yeah.
weeks early,
Yeah,
I guess.
exactly.
It just sort of came out of nowhere for me, at least. And
Yeah,
like,
it premiered at, what, Sundance or South by?
it was
Well,
Cannes, right?
we started at
Okay,
Cannes,
yeah.
which was like basically a year ago.
Yeah.
So we've been doing the whole press tour for about a year. Yeah. It's been long.
Very unique for like a horror movie to not only premiere at
Yeah.
Cannes, but be really well received by a bunch of French.
French people,
Yeah,
yes. Shocking.
Yeah.
It was a bit terrifying going there.
It's been pretty well received by everyone. That's like
Yeah.
when I saw the trailer, I was like, this looks awesome. And then when I saw it released here, the reviews were incredible, and I'm like, well, I have to go see this opening
Yeah.
weekend. And I saw it, and it was I think my experience was like probably the best it could be because we got to the theater late, so we had to sit front row for it.
Oh my god.
So it was like just having my hair blown back,
just
and
like,
like
God.
I was playing Where's Waldo the entire time with the movie, looking in the
Yep.
background for like they've hidden something.
Yeah,
I know
something.
that they've done it. Yeah. So
That's
what
pretty
was
funny.
what was the process like filming It Follows?
Ooh, it was very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
It was we shot for 5 weeks in Detroit, and I mean it was just every day it was something else. There was a lot of running for your life, screaming, crying. So it was very intense. It's probably like the most intense 5 weeks of my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I survived.
Yeah.
And I'm here.
I mean,
which is
you're
good.
pretty much like having a panic attack for like 3/4 of that movie.
Pretty much, yeah. That sounds about right.
Like, how do you
Yeah.
get yourself in
I
that
don't even
mode?
know. I don't even know. I most of the time on set I have my headphones in and just kind of in my own world trying to, stay in that kind of zone, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much. I had no idea it was so hard to make a horror movie. So you don't realize what you have to go through
Yeah.
until you're there.
Yeah, and I don't know if you had early access to that soundtrack, but that would have been a great thing to hype you up for.
Oh,
and that-
totally.
The
I
soundtrack
wish
is
that I
incredible.
did. It is.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's we checked it out like on Spotify the other day,
Yeah.
and I was just at my desk listening
Yeah.
to it, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And that guy's like a video game composer
Yeah,
too, so
yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
really unique. For
All
him.
of
He
his
did a
other
great job.
soundtracks are very like happy and pleasant.
Really?
Yeah.
You would not picture that.
Yeah, he makes a lot of like video game soundtracks that are just sort of
Happy-go-lucky.
background
Chipper
music.
and
Yeah, so it seems like he just had this one in him for a while and
just let it loose.
Yeah.
Good.
This is gonna go up later, but man, tomorrow's April 1st. You should get like a giant boombox and
it
turn the
is.
soundtrack on and start walking behind it.
Walking-
That'd be great.
Brilliant. God,
Great
great
marketing.
idea. Yeah, we'll do that, you guys. Yeah.
So I had one more question about It Follows before we
Yeah.
get into like the fan submitted
Oh,
questions.
goodness.
Which, if you guys want to submit questions for any of the podcasts, it's reddit.com/r/etc show. I don't want to spoil it too much, but my thing I was wondering the most was, so this movie it's a very like retro horror vibe, but also there's some weird futuristic stuff that
Yeah.
Yeah, like that
is
little
never explained.
thing she's
Shell thing.
Yeah.
Is there any?
Basically, I mean, the director wanted to create, in kind of a no man's land, no specific time. You recognize things from the 80s, you recognize things from now, and then things that don't exist at all. So it kind of feels like you're in a dream because you don't know where you are.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of confusing.
It
and,
is, yeah, very confusing.
It was great. Like it was the thing was I walked out and he was actually in the screening after me and we met
Yeah.
up at the bar and I was like, I don't want to say anything, but oh my god. It's
Don't
like-
want to say it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can't really. It's just one of those types of movies where you just got to see it.
yeah, and it's
Yeah,
like-
I'm not gonna give anything away. Just see it.
we're trying not
Just
to. Yeah.
see it.
But it is one of those things where it's. I mean, that has a lot to do with like sexual stuff
Mm-hmm.
and you could put some kind of like metaphor on it or whatever, but I think everyone has this innate fear of being followed at some point in their life.
Absolutely.
So it really like hits your core, like just like
hits you. Yeah.
There was parts of the movie where I was like, I need to survive this part because I kind of just want to leave the room for a little bit. But yeah, it did a really, really good job of kind of holding the suspense. Yeah. But let's get into it. You want to start with the first one?
Let's get into the questions.
Oh,
All right.
goodness,
First
I'm
one
scared.
comes from The Flying Fry.
Amazing.
How did you turn out to be the lead role in It Follows? What's your story behind it? I loved that movie, by the way, and keep up the good work.
Oh, thanks. Well, I received the script, and it was very odd and interesting, and so I started doing my research, looked into the director, saw his previous film, and it's just, it's incredible. Like,
What's
just
the name of
weird,
that one?
Myth of American Sleepover.
Okay.
And it's just so odd, and David has such a unique way of telling a story, and so I was just kind of like, I have to work with this guy.
But I looked at your filmography. You haven't just been saying yes to like every role. You've been in like I think like
Very
7 movies. Yeah, you've been very selective, and like between this and The Guest and that one you did with Zac Efron, it's like it seems like
You kind of have your pick of the litter almost, or at least
Well,
you're very
thanks,
smart
guys.
about what you do.
What I do?
When you do
Well,
choose.
thanks.
Yeah.
Do you turn down a lot of roles?
Yeah, I mean, there's things that that I'm not interested in. I like challenging roles. I like working with unique people that are making different films, and so that's kind of what I'm drawn to. So yeah, there's definitely things that I turn down that I don't really have any interest in.
It's like last year, The Guest came out, and that was another like it just seems like for whatever reason the movies that I see that you're in, I go into like not knowing anything about. I was like, I want to see a movie this weekend. What's out? The Guest. Looked at the trailer. I was like, well, that gave me nothing.
Yeah.
I'll go see it anyway. And then I have a very weird story about that thing. Was
Yes.
The Guest was so good and compelling the entire time that I almost pissed my pants by the end of it because I was like sitting there like, if I leave, I'm gonna miss everything because the end is just like this snowball effect of crap that's happening.
Yeah, you can't miss anything.
And one of the actors was there for a Q&A, and like I ran out of the theater and saw him, and I was like, great movie, and then just kept running. But yeah, it was
amazing.
What was the story behind that? Because that's another like it's such a unique thriller / it's not really a horror, but it's like a thriller movie that kind of came out of nowhere and was just amazingly praised by critics, and it was just like, how are you picking these roles that are just so good?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm just basing it on like I looked at Adam's previous film, You're Next, and he has. I mean, I love.
You're Next was incredible. Yeah,
it's amazing, and both these guys have such unique styles of making movies, and so I was just like, okay, if with Your Next, the comedy of that, bringing that into The Guest, and then having Dan Stevens, and I'm like, this is gonna be.
Yeah, what was it
this
like
is gonna
working
be
with
great.
Dan Stevens?
I mean, he's amazing.
Yeah.
I watched that entire movie and could not figure out where the hell I'd seen that guy
Exactly,
from.
Downton
And then
Abbey.
fucking Downton Abbey. It was like that guy.
what?
Like, was he
Yeah.
always that ripped underneath his
No, I don't think
his
so. He really
Victorian
had to-
suit?
He really, they had him training hardcore for this. Like, certain diet, everything, because they needed him, super
Yeah, he was
Terminator.
terrifying in that movie.
Yeah, that was.
Not to give anything away.
Yeah, not to...
That's the thing is with these movies, it's like we want to talk about a lot of stuff in them specifically, but that would like these movies are so good when you don't know anything
Anything
about
about
them.
it.
The entire movie, The Guest, is a twist.
Yeah,
You can't tell anyone
back and
anything
forth
about it.
nonstop. Yeah, it was great. It's just all I can sell them on is I'll pull up the trailer that has the scene of him in the bar fight.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Oh my
you
God.
dig that? The movie's great. And that's another one with
Best
with
scene.
one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard in my
Amazing
it's-
soundtrack.
And also very 80s. Like
Yep.
when I saw the trailer for It Follows, I almost thought it was the same composer
Yeah.
as The Guest, but it's just like that John Carpenter sound is coming back.
It's coming back, thank God.
Yeah, and just a crop of new great thriller horror movies. It's pretty crazy. This is from Damon65. What were your initial thoughts on It Follows when you first read the script?
I mean, I thought it was very weird, and to be honest, I didn't know how it would translate into a movie and how audiences would take it. So, like I said before, it wasn't. I didn't make the decision saying yes until I saw David's previous film.
Yeah, so much of that movie is just sort of the vibe.
Oh, totally,
of,
yeah,
Like the cinematography and the music and stuff, and like that isn't on the page. So.
No, you would have no idea. Yeah, so I had to have complete trust in David on that one.
Let's you want to do the next one here?
Yeah, Ethics DK asks, why do you think retro-inspired thrillers and action movies have become so popular lately?
I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I think there's a big part of it has to do with the soundtrack. I think that the sound is. I think movies are paying attention more to the music in it, and that's 80s is such a great time period, and then throwing that into the horror genre, I think there's something so much fun about that.
And I mean, I feel like jump scares have gotten sort of played out a little bit.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, like more and more you're seeing movies that have more of just an overall sense of dread.
Totally.
As opposed to shit just popping out.
Yeah,
Popping
kinda
out,
goes-
the cheap scares, definitely.
It seems like it's going like one way or the other because you have movies like this where it's unsettling the entire time, and you'll have like the remake of Evil Dead, which I thought was great,
I
but
enjoyed
that
it.
is straight up just blood and gore nonstop. So it's
In
one
your
or the
face.
other.
Yep, definitely.
And it was funny because It Follows is not without some jump scares.
Yeah.
But they're like well placed, and you don't really see them coming. So it's like, or it's the anticipation
Totally.
building up. It's
Well, the scariest moment in the movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try not to spoil
I'm
anything.
curious what
but
you-
it's funny because it so easily could have been a jump scare, but he instead first showed your reaction in slow motion. It was the woman in the kitchen. I was like, this is genius because so easily, like any other director would have
just
made
had-
that a jump scare.
Yep.
And he actually slowed the moment down to make it even more rewarding.
Yep.
All right, Insane Twig wants to know what your favorite classic scary movie is.
The Shining.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah, it has to be. It was probably the first horror movie that I saw, and I love it.
You had to be
It's
pretty
amazing.
young to watch The Shining.
Yeah, I was pretty young. Probably too young.
I would think so.
Probably scarred for life when I saw that. But I mean, it's just incredible. And I had a huge crush on Jack Nicholson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I was obsessed.
I mean, who hasn't?
Yeah, exactly.
He is just a
dream
very
man.
He's a dream
beautiful
bug.
man.
Yeah.
He is,
Were you
he
a fan
is.
of Kubrick's other films at all?
Oh yeah, I mean, Clockwork Orange is another just amazingly disturbing movie.
That's one I definitely saw way too young.
yeah,
I
that one
couldn't-
that'll mess you up.
Yeah, I
A
couldn't really wrap
lot
my
more
head
rape
around it.
than I was expecting.
Yeah. That was dark, but that's another great one. I mean, he's just really good.
Any like campy stuff, 80s stuff, or
I mean, Halloween was one you have to see. Nightmare on Elm Street, I really liked. I mean, that really scared me as a kid. That movie, because you go to sleep and you're gonna be killed.
you're trapped in your
yeah,
dream.
exactly.
Terrified.
So you don't want to sleep. That was definitely a favorite.
this kind of like leads into or leads out of that.
Yeah, so Sylvie Slays asks if you could star in a reboot or remake of any horror movie, which would it be?
The Shining.
Yeah?
In Shelley Duvall's role?
Yeah, hell yeah. Maybe I might have to get a little older, but yes, that would be
So,
awesome.
like, you
but
s-
also, I don't know if you want to remake that. I don't know if you.
They
you
did
can't.
in the 90s. They made a TV movie that was
Oh,
more directly
goodness.
based on the book, and it was apparently terrible.
Yeah.
Wasn't it
you
because
don't-
Stephen King hated the movie or something?
Well, the movie took a lot of liberties.
Yeah.
You did,
But-
Changed.
But
some
correct
things.
liberties.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
Yes, precisely.
But you
Trust
s-
Kubrick.
You said like in It Follows, like being stressed out like the whole time was hard. Shelley Duvall had to walk backwards
Oh
up
my
the flight of
God.
stairs
Yeah.
like 100 times, I think, and was actually having a mental breakdown.
Yeah, I feel for her. Yeah, I definitely was not there, so.
So if
yeah.
you're starring in the remake of The Shining, who would fill the role of Jack Nicholson's?
Ooh.
Who would you want?
Should we get like Dan Stevens? Should we get like.
Maybe, but you
I
guys
could
reunite
s-
for The Shining remake?
I could see that working. Like, not based off Downton Abbey, because
We're not gonna base it off of that.
But
Yeah.
he does play a good, like, I guess psychopath you would call him? But it's,
Yeah.
like, the guest, he's charming.
yeah.
But his smile that he gives when he's like really disturbed, like
Yeah.
the fight scene, right?
Yeah.
Where he gets it on
For
his
the-
face and
for
he
the
wipes
damages.
his face and he's
Yeah.
got that smile. I mean that could work.
yeah,
you know?
he's master manipulator in that movie, which is
He
great.
is, yeah.
Not to spoil anything.
Not to give anything away.
God damn it, guys, the
Yeah.
guest has been out for like at least 2 months now on VOD. Just
Yeah.
go watch
You know
it.
they
Yeah.
sent us the promo package for the guest, like
This is a great story.
Oh
like
my
when it
God.
was still in like festival circuit.
Yeah.
They sent us a box of stuff from it,
Oh,
and we
yeah.
were like, it had like the CD, the mix
Yeah.
CD
Just, like,
and stuff.
written on it?
It had a bunch
yeah.
of stuff in it. We were just like, what the
What
fuck
is
is
this
this? We
movie?
threw it in the trash. And then like a week later, saw
I
the
saw
movie.
it and I came back and
You're
like I
like-
had given one of our coworkers the shot glass. I'm like, do you want a shot glass? And
Yeah.
they're like, sure. And it was like the guest
Yeah.
blowjob shot. And I walked back over to the desk and
You were
took
just
the
like-
shot glass and now it's sitting in my apartment. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Because we get like a bunch of promo shit. I'm always just like, what
Yeah,
is
what the
this?
hell is this? Yeah.
Mixed CD?
Yeah. What the hell? Yeah.
Way to embarrass me, Elliot. God.
You couldn't have known. I still don't
yeah.
know what was on that CD.
No, it was the soundtrack.
It was
the-
it was the soundtrack.
that soundtrack's
just,
great.
You just threw away the soundtrack. I know. Yeah.
All right, let's see. I guess, well, this is So aside from Dan Stevens, Shadowhawk191 wants to know if you could act alongside any actor or celebrity, who would it be?
Well, I mean, yeah, it would be Jack Nicholson.
Okay.
But he's just not acting really anymore. So.
Yeah, I heard he
But if you win an
can't remember his
Oscar,
lines.
at some point he'll give you one of those creepy hugs.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be great.
That'd be a dream.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Was that Jennifer Lawrence?
Yes,
Yeah,
was
that
Jennifer
was-
Lawrence after receiving Best Actress.
Yeah.
He's like, hey there.
Oh my God, I would
Hey,
die.
Nicholson.
I would die.
Got a couple
Yeah.
extra Lakers
Yeah.
tickets.
Exactly.
Well, if Jack Nicholson is watching for literally any reason,
Yeah.
He's not.
He's not.
I don't
He's
think
not.
he's used
We
a
don't need
computer.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Damon65 wants to know, you've been in 2 great movies recently, so I will just ask the question that is on everyone's mind. What are some projects that you are currently working on? I loved It Follows, by the way. It was the best horror movie I have seen in a while.
Thanks. Thank you. Well, I just finished filming The Fifth Wave, which is going to be very different.
about
from
aliens,
this.
right?
It is. It has aliens in it. It does. And it's a very popular young adult novel that now they're bringing to the big screen. And I have a pretty awesome role, which I'm very excited about. I get to play this, super kick-ass girl. So that'll be coming out. That doesn't come out for a while, though, because there's, a lot of special effects and stuff that they got to do. So that comes out January 2016.
that's not too far away.
I guess it's,
As far as like movie
Less
productions
than a
go,
year.
It's true.
less
I
than a
mean,
year.
yeah, you've
Big
got it,
blockbuster young adult adaptations.
Yeah,
They take a while.
They do. And then I start filming a movie called Tribes of Palos Verdes soon, which is, kind of a darker drama. It's about a dysfunctional family, but it's a really cool story, so I'm excited about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
What was the name of the alien one? Fifth Wave?
Yeah, the Fifth
All right,
Wave.
so go read the book now.
Go read the book
And
now.
you'll be prepared.
Is it multiple books?
Yes.
Is it a series?
We're gonna
like
be doing a
Oh, so
trilogy.
sequels and
Oh yeah.
all that
Oh yeah.
locked in now.
Locked in.
Yeah.
Locked in for life.
Hey, taking a break here really quick to talk about a new sponsor we have. It's DraftKings.com.
Spring training is underway and baseball season is almost here. There's never been a better time to check out DraftKings.com, America's favorite daily fantasy baseball site where you can win huge cash prizes every day.
DraftKings is different than normal fantasy sports. There's no season-long commitment. It's instant gratification, and it's like a new season every time you play.
Hurry to DraftKings.com now and use promo code INSIDE to play for free in the $100,000 fantasy baseball contest on opening day.
First place takes home $10,000.
Damn.
Use promo code INSIDE for free entry now at DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com. That's DraftKings.com.
All right, now back to the show.
Let's see. Introversy asks, did you ever wrap a scary scene with one take, or do you always have to do it multiple times? What was the most difficult scene that you had to do over and over again, or just do in general?
Both working with Adam and David, they're both very specific on what they want. So usually that would not equal one take. And also they like exploring and trying different things. So I don't know. I can't even think if we ever had one take in either of those movies. Hardest scene would have been a wheelchair scene where I'm tied to the wheelchair.
Yeah.
It was the last day that we shot that scene after 5 weeks of filming. And it was the coldest night, obviously, just how life works. It's the coldest night. And, I'm not wearing much in that scene. And it just, yeah, it was hard. And we had, a bunch of different angles. We had the camera attached to the bottom of the wheelchair to shoot a lot of it. But then different angles, and it was very long filming that. So that would have been the hardest for sure.
And there's a scary naked woman.
And there is
walking
a
directly
very
towards you.
terrifying, naked woman.
Did she at
walking.
least make a funny face at you between takes? Just to...
No, she was in it. She was in it to win it.
Hey, did you guys ever have any I don't know if they would put these in bonus features, but any weird outtakes where
God, we had to have, because there's so many weird things with filming, but I feel like this is not the movie that they would have bloopers. I wish.
something in the background.
Yeah, that would have been great though.
Yeah.
the follower person tripping. Did that
Yeah,
ever happen?
yeah. I'm sure. I mean, I don't even remember, but there had to have been some ridiculous things that happened.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Did you end up making friends with everyone that was in the cast?
Oh
or-
yeah, we're still great friends.
Yeah.
That normally doesn't happen, but it was.
It seemed like a cool group. I would
It
imagine,
was, yeah.
on set, you guys hang out because it's a cool group of
Yeah,
people. That are,
totally. Yeah, we had a blast. So that was nice having that. Yeah.
Also, it was Detroit. I mean, is there
not a lot to do.
Yeah.
What to do? So we're, we at least had each other to,
Yeah.
help with that.
Samuel Atilano, I guess. Maika, you are an extremely talented actress with a definite bright future. What led you on the path to this profession?
Oh, acting, I'm assuming? Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get to the kite
We'll
surfing.
get to the kiteboarding. Well, just kind of happened. As a kid, I really had no interest in acting. Never thought it could ever be like a real career. So it just kind of fell in my lap randomly. I was asked to be an extra in a small movie, and I was like, okay, yeah, whatever, I'll do it. And just walking on set, I was just blown away by the process of making a movie, and it was actually a horror movie.
What was the title?
Bad Blood. Yeah,
all right, we'll have to go back and spot
you. You go find that.
How old were you when you did that?
I had to have been like 13, 14 probably.
Okay.
I was like just blown away. It was pretty insane.
So the process is what kind of...
Yeah, I mean, it was so cool. I mean, imagine 13, 14 being on, it's not even just a movie set, but a horror movie, so you're seeing like the blood and guts and how they do all of the makeup and special effects. It was amazing. Yeah.
I was blown away just by going to Universal Studios when
Yeah.
I was 13. So
Yeah.
a lot better of experience.
Yeah.
So like from that, I guess,
Yes,
experience, did you
I got
take classes and stuff?
Yeah, I slowly. One of the actors, I got to know the director and actor and actors on set, and so they really helped me out. They said, get headshots. We'll introduce you to agents and managers, and the director ended up writing me into the script, and I had like one line, but then you become SAG eligible, and all of that becomes easier. So.
And did you grow up in? I think you grew up in Santa Barbara, right?
Yeah.
Did you come to LA for that, or were you traveling? Or
Mom drove me.
Okay.
Very good mom.
Aw, thanks, Mom.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Mom. She was the one who, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now if it wasn't for her, because she was driving me back and forth. I mean, sometimes it would be 4 times a week, and she would finish.
Wow.
She would finish work. She'd pick me up from school, and then we'd drive to LA.
Well, it is a beautiful drive.
It is very nice drive. So we can't. Yeah. I mean, at least we have that. But
Yeah.
it was, yeah.
Let's see. M. Samita asks, the guest in, that's him, by the way.
Oh, yes.
The guest
Hi.
in It Follows both played at huge film festivals like Sundance, South by Southwest, Cannes, and TIFF. Do you have a favorite festival, and do you have any favorite festival moments that stick out?
Well, the first festival that I ever went to was the Venice Film Festival in Italy. And so that was the first red carpet that I ever walked in. I don't know if you've seen pictures from it, but it's massive. And so it was the first time ever wearing like a really amazing gown and stuff, and it was, very nerve-wracking. And so I had a white dress, and I basically left a trail of white feathers, because I had like this train of feathers, like white feathers just across the massive red carpet. But that had to be the coolest festival that I've ever been to. I mean, you're taking boats to like places to go have dinner, and it's just kind of ridiculous. So yeah, that would have been my favorite.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What about you've been to South by, right?
I've been.
Did you go this year?
Which is crazy. I feel like I've been to almost, every festival.
Yeah.
With all these, which is insane to think.
I think South by is for sure our favorite. Like,
South by
have any
is
cool experiences
so much
there?
fun. Yeah, because I went there with the guests.
Yeah.
So that group of people, Adam and Simon are 2 incredibly funny people, and we have a blast.
Did you get to see any bands or anything while you were there?
No.
No?
I mean,
Not enough time?
I go for like 3 days. It's like premiere press. So no, I don't really get
You at least
to
get some
enjoy it.
barbecue?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Get
good.
some barbecue
Good.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously. I have to make time for that.
Yeah. I get this almost kind of leads out of that. Geochin asks, enough with these indie film questions.
Yes.
Favorite indie artist or just general band at the moment? What are you listening to?
Blood Orange is great.
Oh, yeah.
I love them.
Good. It's springtime.
Exactly.
It's good
like
spring
perfect
music.
for that. Yeah, I'm digging them.
Do you ever go to like Coachella or anything like that?
Oh God, no.
No?
No, I can't. Oh my God.
Why?
Like I don't know. I mean, it's so many people and all I feel like it's not so much about the music now. It's more about like partying and like everyone's just like wasted off their mind. I don't know.
It's not as bad as Coachella Weekend 3, which is Stagecoach, the country music festival.
Oh God, how is that?
So there's 2 weekends of Coachella.
Could only
Last
imagine.
year, the stats, there was 2 weekends of Coachella and 1 weekend of Stagecoach. In the 1 weekend of Stagecoach, there was more arrests and crimes than in both weekends of Coachella combined, because it's just like
Country music is a violent genre.
It's just like everyone getting completely wasted off their ass.
Yeah,
and it's like a bunch of kids out in the desert on like Molly or whatever. They're
good
harmless.
God.
Yeah.
Just let them walk around.
Yeah, just let them do their thing.
It's happy drugs versus angry drugs.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Getting punched in the face or rubbed.
Yeah.
I don't want
Which
either.
one?
But yeah. But you never done like a music festival?
I mean,
or?
I think I did one, and it was what's the one in San Francisco?
Outside
Lands. That's a great one.
Yeah, I did that, but that was earlier on. That would have probably just been out of high school, so it was probably like 4 years ago or something. So it was smaller then. And it was nice, I mean, but still, there's just so many people.
It is a hassle.
You know, it's not like, you know, just seeing a band. You know, it's not, I don't know.
It's an experience.
It's an
Micah.
experience.
Yeah,
I know.
you gotta enjoy the whole thing.
Maybe I'll try. Maybe I'll go sometime. Maybe.
Just ask your studio or someone to
someone
give you
just, like,
VIP passes.
VIP
Yeah,
hookup,
use
Tell you around on a
totally.
Segway. So
Yeah.
you
Use your
walk either.
star
There we
power.
go.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Now I might be into that.
Yeah, next time someone's like, well, we have this movie. Be like,
Yeah.
well, do you have Coachella
yeah,
tickets?
if you have, then maybe I'll do it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much our bargaining chip behind the scenes.
Yeah, we're
Every,
pretty good at
it
that.
hasn't worked yet, but anytime
We're gonna
people
get
ask
there.
us to do something, we're like, well,
Coachella's right around the corner.
Yeah.
Cool. So Blood Orange. Is there anything else? Any kind of like what did you grow up listening to?
Oh well, that would be my dad, like the Who, In
great.
Excess, James Brown. I actually saw James Brown live.
What?
Oh wow.
Not many people my age could say that.
how old were you when that
I had
happened?
to have been like 6, maybe.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I saw them. Yeah, he came to the Santa Barbara Bowl, and it was the most incredible
Wow.
thing. Probably my one memory from being 6 years old was that.
You don't need these big festivals. You've
I
already
don't
seen
exactly.
the
I've
cream
seen
of
them
the crop.
all. Yeah, exactly.
All right, here comes the question that everyone's been waiting
All
for.
right.
God.
Barely Prodigies asks, what is kite surfing? How do you get into that sport? Did you win any events at the professional level?
Yes. Kiteboarding. Well, I
Wait, it's
recommend.
kiteboarding, not surfing,
Well,
right?
it's either one. They're the
Okay.
same thing. I recommend looking up a video because it's very hard to explain. But it's like you've seen wakeboarding. Do you guys know what kiteboarding is?
I've seen videos.
It looks like you're holding like a parachute and catching the wind
And riding
and
waves.
flying scary
It's
waves.
wakeboarding without a boat.
Yeah, with the kite pulling you,
Okay,
basically. Yeah. So my dad taught me when I was 13, and just kind of fell in love with it. Started traveling, around the world, just for fun, and then I started, kind of progressing and working on tricks and getting better and better. And so I was 17 when I told my mom, I'm like, so I want to pursue this and I want to be professional. And, my mom, she's like, all right, let's do this.
What about
figure it out."
acting? I've been driving
I
you
know,
4 times
I know,
a week.
4 times a week. What the hell? So at 17, I was like, okay, I'm going to take a break from acting. We moved to the Dominican Republic and I was training there. And then, I went on to I did a Red Bull competition and then actual competition, in which I actually cracked my head open the day before of competing. So that didn't,
like broken, fractured skull?
like I had to get stitches in my head.
And then you competed
God.
after that?
Well, I did, but I couldn't do anything. I just had to ride back and forth. I traveled halfway around the world for it.
Yeah, yeah, might as well.
I was like, I'm just gonna get in the water and just had like
Oh.
a neck brace on. Oh God, it was so
Wait,
bad.
really?
Oh yeah.
Is there video of this?
Probably somewhere.
We're gonna get up Red Bull to use in this video.
somewhere.
We need
Yeah,
footage
we
of
need-
Maika with the neck brace on competing.
Oh my God.
Quote unquote
I should have
competing.
never said that. Yeah.
How do you do a trick on a kiteboard?
Just explain it in 2-3 steps.
Yeah.
You're like edging up, so you use your kite to lift you up, and you move like you're edging up, and you kind of jump. It's like skateboarding when you do
Like in a
those-
half pipe?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Those tricks, and so you edge up, and then you use your kite to kind of lift you up and do tricks like that.
How windy does it have to be to make
You
that
want it
work?
20 knots, but I like 25.
In layman's terms, I don't know what a knot is.
That's
Oh.
a nautical
Yeah.
mile per hour, which is, I don't know.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's windy. You need it to be
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
windy.
Do you
know?
still do it for fun or
Yeah,
compete
yeah,
or
yeah,
anything?
definitely. Yeah, we spent last Christmas in Brazil kiting for
Oh,
about
wow.
3 weeks. Yeah, I mean, my dad and I love it, so we'll take trips when I'm available.
Yeah.
So.
That was invented in the North Sea of Europe, right? Outside
Don't make her
Holland.
get into a history
I'm
lesson.
like, I don't have any idea.
I only say that because I didn't even know about it at all until I was in Holland and reading some fact sheet, and they're like,
And then they're like,
marijuana, canals, and kite surfing.
What?
All from Holland.
what? Yeah.
It's the major exports.
Yeah, clearly.
All right, I think we only got one personal one on here. This is from IDK. I don't know what
I
I'm
don't know
doing.
what I'm
That's his
doing.
name. What was your first date like?
How am I supposed to remember that?
Really? It couldn't be that far.
This would have been high school. Are we
Yeah.
talking- yeah, probably went to the movie theater, the mall. Isn't that what you
Was
do
it
in
a
high
scary movie?
school? Maybe. Yeah, the scary movies are fun. I feel like going on dates, going
Yeah.
to
Oh,
see
yeah.
a scary movie, probably. Yeah, because you can be like, oh, hold my hand,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
We would do it we would go see whatever the most adult boring movie was because we were going to watch it anyway, and they were 3 hours long,
True,
so there was
true.
plenty of time.
Yeah, there's plenty of
no
time that
one's
you
paying
had in
attention,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Friend of the show and previous guest of the show, Woody Tondorf, wants to know, What do you look for in a project that makes you think, yeah, I want to do this?
Usually I look at the character first, and I look, okay, is this something that I want to do, and then look at the script as a whole, and then look at the people that are involved with the project. Just kind of, I think it's most important that it's a role that I want to do, that's intriguing and challenging, and then, you know, who else is involved, and if it's something, I don't know, different and unique, and that's kind of what I'm drawn to, I guess.
Let's see. This is a really stupid one.
Can't wait.
Glasses Kun, or at Space Cowboy asks, what's your favorite meme?
What's it?
There's like a 50% chance of you just being like, what's that?
What's
It's like
a
those
meme?
little, it's like the images online with like the text on them, or just, oh my god. Like,
What's
it's
a
hard.
meme?
It's too hard to explain. It's like
She's
a,
not on the internet. She's
I know. You're actually
wording
working
and acting.
Yeah.
What's me?
It's a silly image
Oh
with
my
a dumb
God.
caption on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. How am I
It's-
supposed? I don't know.
It's
Is there-
pictures that people that spend too much time on the internet, like myself,
Yeah.
pass
What?
around to each other to make each other laugh.
There's a Furby. My friend's here. And there's a Furby one that says what? What was it? Oh, like. Yeah, I'm not sure, but there's a picture of a Furby that looks like he's like super high because his eyes are closed, and she showed, and I thought it was funny.
Okay, good. There you go.
Okay,
The high
there's-
Furby.
there you guys go.
there's your
we were
answer.
able to come to a.
The high Furby.
We were able to finally
Oh
come
my
to an
gosh.
answer on that. I was like, we shouldn't put that in.
Yeah.
We were like, well, actually, we should.
We
'Cause that'll be
should.
great.
Yeah.
And then the last thing we kind of ask everyone is, people that are watching out there, any advice to, you know, get into the career, or kiteboarding, but any advice in general to people that may be watching?
I guess, you know, it's really hard. There's nothing easy about this career, and you know,
Kiteboarding, right?
Yeah, kiteboarding. either or. But you know, you've got to be determined, and you've got to have a really thick skin, because you're going to be told no a million times before you're told yes, and you know, you just have to be strong and be willing to, you know, keep pushing yourself, and yeah.
And still say no to shitty scripts.
Yeah, say no to shitty
Say
scripts.
no. Yeah.
Become really good at theorizing whether the script
Yeah,
is going to be
exactly.
a gigantic hit or not.
And watch the director's previous movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
All
Very
those
good. All
things.
good tips. All right. Well, thank you so much for
Yes,
joining us.
thank you.
Thanks for letting us
Yes.
just glow about your movie career.
Go see It Follows.
Yeah, and the guest.
It's
The Guest is
national
on
now.
VOD. Is It Follows? Is that coming out on VOD or?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know when now, because
Okay.
it's like playing
But it was just
everywhere.
released nationwide, so
Yeah.
probably playing near you. If not, make the drive. It's worth it.
Yes.
And then
Or
be
just-
scared the entire way home. But when you drive to go see the movie 3 hours away, that's 3 hours in between you and whatever's following.
Exactly. That's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, why didn't you just
Smart.
get on a plane? That's my
Yeah.
question.
I know, right? I should have. If it was real life, I probably would have.
We had a friend named Mr. Sark. He's a great friend of ours,
Mm-hmm.
like a YouTube personality. He saw the movie and he goes, "All right, so my plan is I travel to marathons around the world and I have sex with all the runners,
And they're.
and they're constantly running in marathons."
See, that is smart.
Yeah, there you go.
That
That's
is
thinking
really
outside
good.
the box.
That is thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
Nice.
So problem solved.
Yeah.
Don't go see the. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Go see the movie. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you.
you, guys.
Yep.
Hey, thanks for joining us today. Today's show was brought to you, of course, by DraftKings.com, America's favorite daily fantasy baseball site, where you can win huge cash prizes every day.
So hurry to DraftKings.com now and use code INSIDE to play for free in the $100,000 fantasy baseball contest on opening day. First place takes home $10,000.
DraftKings.com.